I guess I've already called the case, haven't I, Amy? Yes, okay. All right, so everyone is present except for Miss Casada, the mother. I'll watch the waiting room. If she happens to come in, I'll interrupt and we'll bring her in. So, Miss Wiggins, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. I call Mandy Rollison. Ms. Rollison, we are here on a compliance hearing, so I want to first talk about how the children are doing. All 4 children are still placed with the mother at this time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in regards to Denver, the youngest, 5-month-old, I guess he's older than that now. Almost, so 9 months. Sorry, I don't do math well. So in regards to Denver's father's Willie Riley, or her father is Willie Riley. Is that correct?
Yes.
And let's start with him. Has he engaged in any services?
He had started individual counseling, but then stopped attending. And so the therapist discharged him for noncompliance. He did not show up to his drug and alcohol evaluation with Linda Dudley. It was scheduled, but he did not appear for that.
Okay. And what continued issues do we believe that need to be addressed by Mr. Riley?
He expressed the need for help with his alcohol addiction. I did see him on, that was the 14th. And he had told me that he had left for Dallas about a week prior, and he had drank before that. So he still is, having some problems with alcohol use.
Now, is he currently still residing in the home with Denver?
No.
Is he getting unsupervised contact with Denver?
Yes.
Are we concerned about or requesting that the visitation be supervised now since he has not engaged in the alcohol treatment?
Yes.
Now, in regards to the father for Lyric, have we recently become aware that he might be back in the life of Lyric?
Yes. Just recently, I found out that he had gone over and seen his dad. I asked Ashton, Miss Casada, for the father's information on the 14th, and she told me that she did not have a way to contact him, that he contacts her with different phone numbers or through Messenger, and he didn't have a residence, that she said that he was recently moving and he wouldn't be getting lyrics for a while, so she had no contact information to provide for me.
Do we have concerns with him getting visitation at this time?
Yes, he's got some pretty significant criminal history that's concerning in the past FBSS case. And he hadn't engaged in contacting us or participating in anything with the department.
Now, in regards to the mother, she has completed her services. Is that a fair statement?
She has completed services, yes.
Has there been a recent development, however, that has the department concerned?
Yes, on June 9th, she went to her probation appointment and tested positive for cocaine. She reported that it was a one-time use. She had gone out with a friend the night before, and her friend had some CBD stuff. She asked her if she wanted to smoke, and she agreed to do that. And then her friend brought out more stuff, and she reported using this. I did do a drug screen on her on the 12th. It came back as negative dilute. We did another drug screen, a urine drug screen and a hair follicle on the 19th. The UA came back as negative dilute again, and we do not have the results for the hair follicle.
Okay. Are we concerned, obviously, about the children being in the care of their mother with this new development of the cocaine use?
Yes.
Okay. Have we put measures in place pending the results of the hair follicle test for additional supervision and contact by the grandmother for the children?
Yes, she lives in Pampa, but she has been FaceTiming Mom, Miss Casada, randomly throughout the day to check on her to make sure she's, there's no concerns regarding her behavior or any use, checking with the children. She's been doing that several times for the last few weeks now. Okay. Several times a day, sorry.
That's okay. And is Miss Casada, she is currently, like you indicated, on probation, is that correct?
Yes.
And is she also on a Scram monitor bracelet as part of that probation?
Yes.
And just for the court's information, if they don't know this, the Scram monitor detects alcohol in the system of somebody who's on probation. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
And sorry, and in regards to that, has it become knowledge? Have you learned knowledge that probation is going to be requesting drug treatment for Ms. Quesada?
Yes.
And are we just asking that the court order her to comply with her probation drug screen or drug
Yes.
order? Sorry. Let's see. Is there anything else that the judge needs to be aware of at this point?
I know that on June 4th, her Scram bracelet had probation reported had said that she had been tampering with the Scram bracelet, and it came back that she had used alcohol on that day. Ashton denies that she had used any alcohol, but they did report that this is what they had received with the monitoring.
Okay. Did Ms. Quesada say something about like bath salts, or she got the thing wet?
She said that she did take a bath with Epsom salts and bath bombs, and she had submerged her foot in the water, which she said that caused it to sound funny for the rest of the day, and you're not supposed to get them wet.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness, Judge. Oh, I'm sorry. One more question.
Okay.
Ms. Rollison, this case is set to expire soon. Is the department requesting a 6-month extension on the order to participate?
At this point, yes. With the new concerns with the drug use, we need to follow up and make sure that she's staying clean and not, doing her drug classes like she's supposed to. I did ask her to attend support group meetings twice a week after her positive screen for additional support. So.
Okay, I'll pass the witness down, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Rollison, I don't show any alleged fathers. Who is this man? What's his name?
I'll have to hang on just a second. Let me.
If anybody else has this, I just need his name for my records. If anybody else knows his name.
Yeah. It's Jason Diedrich.
Can you spell the last name, please?
It's DEDRICK.
Okay.
And Jason, I'm sorry.
Would he be alleged and not
Yes.
presumed? Okay.
Well, he's on the birth certificate, I guess.
Well,
So
that won't cut it. So, okay, that gives me what I needed to know. Thank you.
uh-huh.
All right, then, Ms. Mullinax, any questions?
No questions.
Ms. Archer?
Yes, Ms. Burleson, did my client, Willie Riley, tell you why he stopped going to counseling?
No, I know that he's been back and forth between Amarillo and Dallas. I've asked him, if he could tell me where he's going to reside so we could connect him with services wherever that's going to be. But he has gone back and forth.
Okay, so he hasn't told you that he is moving to Dallas.
I've been told that before, and so I did not know 100% if he's going to or not. I asked him on the 14th when I saw him last for him to let me know for sure, and I have not heard since then.
And when he told you he consumed alcohol before that last trip to Dallas, did he tell you he was intoxicated or just that he'd had a drink? Did he mention specifics?
Just that he had been drinking.
Okay. Did he tell you his plan on seeing the child while he resides in Dallas?
No.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Rollison?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rollison, what is the department or St. Francis, what would what does Mr. Riley need to do before he can have unsupervised visits again?
I would like for him to have his drug and alcohol evaluation and become enrolled in the program and, have the skills and show that he's being able to maintain his sobriety.
Okay. And that would be through Linda Dudley?
Linda Dudley, yes. But if he moves to Dallas, I will have to find, a program there for him. I just need to know where he's going to reside because I've been told he's going to move to Dallas multiple times. But then he's back in Amarillo and then he's in Dallas. So it's hard to know where he's going to be.
Okay. All right. Ms. Wiggins, did you have any other witnesses?
I did not, Judge. We rest.
And I assume you're asking for another compliance hearing since you're asking that I extend the case.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. One other question, Ms. Rollison. When was the last time that Ms. Quesada drug tested for you? Not for probation, but for you?
The 19th, June 19th.
Is that the one we're still waiting on the hair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right then. Okay then. Ms. Molnax, did you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, rest.
Thank you. Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
Yes, I'd like to call Willie Riley.
Okay. Mr. Riley, if you'd unmute, please.
Mr. Riley, where are you currently residing?
Right now, I'm here in Amarillo. I had came back because I wasn't sure exactly how court was going to go, but my residence is based in Dallas. It's at my father's house right now.
Okay. How often are you just coming back to see your daughter, Denver?
Yes, I have. I came back, I want to say last Tuesday to see her then. And that's whenever court was supposed to be Friday, but it got delayed. So I hadn't returned to Dallas just yet. I was going to return today after court.
Okay. And are you still with the mother, Ashton Quesada?
No, we've been split up for over 2 months now.
Okay. And when you wanted to work services in this case, was that to help your relationship with Ms. Quesada?
It was to try to improve everything on the case that was going on because I know I was residing with her and I know it would have helped out myself also. And when the relationship no longer worked out, I just honestly just wanted to just, be done with this everything.
Is that why you stopped going to counseling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what are you asking the court today?
What I was just asking was, like I said, the case, it just seems to be, it was revolved around an incident that she had done. And I was in a relationship with her and I tried my hardest to try to help her through it. And it just seems to be turning into a totally different ordeal. So what I'm asking is just to be removed if possible.
Do you feel like you have a problem with alcohol?
There are times that I have drank and in the past that I did. And recently, since the past month or so, the only time reported that I was drinking, I did tell Ms. Rawlinson that I had a few shots at my mother's. I haven't been at a point where I've been just super intoxicated all over again.
Okay. Do you feel like you're safe around your child, Denver?
Yes, she's very safe around me.
Okay. Are you asking the court to continue unsupervised visits?
I would love that.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Wiggins, any questions?
Just a few. Mr. Riley, who do you live with when you're in Amarillo?
My sister.
Okay. If the judge did order them to be supervised, would you be agreeable to having your sister supervised? Has she done that in the past?
Yeah, she's done that in the past.
And generally, when you come and see Denver, do you always see her in Amarillo or does she go out to Dallas?
No, I see her here in Amarillo, and we usually just go to my sister's house.
Okay. Now, did you at one point tell Ms. Rollison that you did have an issue with alcohol use?
Yes, this was about 2 or 3 months ago, I believe.
And what have you done in the interim to help with that or to help you feel more comfortable?
The very first time I went to Dallas, which was about 2 weeks ago, I resided with my father and he's helped me through, coping with not drinking and keeping me pretty stable there and trying to get established there.
Do you think that classes or any kind of alcohol education would be helpful to you?
I believe that they could, but just to state that whenever I'm not around the relationship that we did have, I don't really feel the urge to overdrink.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Molnax, any questions for Mr. Riley?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ingram?
Mr. Riley, are there any prior court orders that set out what your visitation is supposed to be with Denver?
No, sir.
Ask witness.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Riley?
Oh, I'd like to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Mr. Riley, what is your visitation plan with Denver?
Since I'm residing in Dallas, I would like to try to do every other weekend, so twice a month.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
All right. All right. Ms. Archer, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ingram, any witnesses?
No witnesses.
All right. Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
I just continue with all parties on the motion to participate. This is the first I'm hearing about a father for lyrics, but if they've got some issues there, then that probably at least needs to be supervised. And it sounds like until Mr. Riley's willing to do an assessment, maybe his sister would be a good person to be in on his visits with Denver.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Riley, what's your sister's name?
It's Shambriosha Grant.
All right. You're going to have to spell that first one for me. Okay. All right, then. First of all, I will grant the department's motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I'll order both parents to continue working the services as previously ordered. I'll order Ms. Quesada to comply with all recommended drug treatment through her probation and to successfully complete that. I will order that Mr. Riley's visitation will be supervised by his sister, Shay Grant, until such time as he undergoes an alcohol and drug assessment and follows any recommendations. Mr. Riley, you may not have a drinking problem, but that's why we do the assessments. And me as the court, once I can scratch that off the list, and I don't have that worry anymore. So I'm not trying to advise you, but it just lets me know that we're beyond that. So okay. Ms. Wiggins, how far out would you like the next compliance?
I would say if we could do the same date, the August 21st.
Okay, that works for me too. All right, I'll set another compliance hearing for August 2023. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so all parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see exactly what time on August 21st we'll have that hearing. This goes for everybody, but Ms. Molnax, if you would discuss with your client, the court's concerned that she's starting to exhibit some signs that I typically see in a relapse situation. She's always made all her hearings. She's not making her hearings. She's started not doing as well as she was before. So just let her know that I've seen it so many times that she's just showing signs that she may have a relapse. So maybe the hair strand test is going to tell us a lot about that. But since she didn't make it today, if you would just discuss that with her.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Okay.
may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Does my client still need to follow through with the counseling since he's not with the mother anymore?
Well, I thought I'd read that they did away with I don't know what they were doing, but I don't know if they were doing couples counseling, but yeah, I think they quit that from the report I read, and they were recommending co-parenting classes, but I didn't hear anything about that today.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't see couples counseling necessary anymore if they're not a couple. So, and I'll let the department and the parents talk about whether or not co-parenting would be advantageous to them. So,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, does Ms. Archer mean individual counseling?
Yes, I do.
I don't think that would hurt. I thought there was some type of couples counseling they'd agreed to do it, and then they decided they were not a couple anymore, so that went away. So
Yes, sir. That did go away. They did have both ordered originally.
I think that would be good. I think even in individual counseling, sometimes they can address the problems of dealing with a co-parent. So, all right, that will conclude this hearing for those of you involved for access to the residents and children filed by the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the children. Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother, Ms. Lopez, and Mr. Taylor's with us representing the father, Mr. McClendon, who is with us. That accounts for everyone. I have no one in the waiting room. Ms. Wiggins, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. We just got an update I just got an update from Mr. Ramirez about this case this morning. It appears that Mr. McClendon and Ms. Lopez have agreed to allow his sister to have the children in Chicago, and where they will stay long term. So we were asking at this time to vacate this hearing, and once we confirm that, we'll then ask the court for further hearings and rulings.
Okay, so you're going to leave it on file, but just vacate this hearing?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. All right. Ms. Archer, any objections to that?
I have no objection.
All right, thank you. Mr. Taylor, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ingram?
No objections.
All right, then I'll vacate this hearing. It can be refiled or ask for another setting in the future if need to, or any other hearings you need to be set. So,
Thank you,
all
Judge.
right, I believe that was our last hearing for this morning. So we will stand in recess. Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.